He'd been working the same cleaning routine for so long that jewelry customers barely noticed him moving through the store. Always there, maintaining perfection, always invisible despite his essential role. But when violence came to his polished domain, everyone learned that some guardians hide in plain sight, disguised as ordinary workers while watching for extraordinary threats. Welcome to the Human Stories. Before we begin this powerful story of hidden courage and Diamond District heroism, tell me in the comments from which city in the world are you watching this video today. And if you believe stories like this deserve to be heard, hit that subscribe button to support the channel. Prestige, fine jewelry occupied a corner location in the city's upscale shopping district, its floor-to-ceiling windows displaying collections that attracted customers from across the metropolitan area, seeking everything from engagement rings to investment-grade timepieces. The store had operated for over 25 years, building a reputation for quality merchandise, expert service, and the kind of discreet luxury that wealthy customers expected when making significant jewelry purchases. The showroom itself was a masterpiece of retail design. Italian marble floors that reflected overhead lighting with mirror-like precision, custom display cases that showcased jewelry like museum pieces, and an atmosphere of quiet elegance that made every customer feel like they were experiencing something special. The inventory represented millions of dollars in carefully selected merchandise, from designer engagement rings to rare vintage pieces that collectors traveled internationally to acquire. Maintaining the pristine environment that luxury jewelry required was a full-time responsibility, and for the past 10 years, that task had belonged to Robert Chen. Every morning from 6 a.m. until the store opened at 10, and every evening after closing until security systems were activated, Robert could be found meticulously cleaning, polishing, and organizing every surface that customers would encounter during their visits. At 62, Robert moved with the methodical precision of someone who understood that luxury retail demanded perfection in every detail. His cleaning supplies were organized like a professional toolkit, his techniques refined through years of experience with materials that required specialized care, and his attention to detail legendary among store staff who depended on his work to maintain the standards that justified Prestige's premium pricing. Robert's daily routine was a choreographed performance of maintenance excellence that most customers never witnessed but always benefited from. Each display case was cleaned with solutions specifically formulated for jewelry presentation, every diamond and gemstone repositioned to catch light at optimal angles, and every surface polished to the mirror finish that made luxury shopping feel like an art gallery experience. His work began with inventory verification, ensuring that every piece was secure and properly positioned, followed by detailed cleaning that could take up to 6 hours for the entire showroom. His work was so thorough and consistent that customers often commented on the store's exceptional presentation without realizing that one man's dedication made it possible. What made Robert exceptional wasn't just his cleaning expertise, though that was considerable, but his ability to maintain perfection while remaining essentially invisible to customers who were focused on expensive purchases and important decisions. He could clean around browsers without interrupting their examination of merchandise, coordinate his work with sales staff without disrupting customer interactions, and somehow always complete his tasks without anyone noticing the extensive effort required. Store employees had developed genuine appreciation for Robert's professionalism over the years, particularly during busy holiday periods when his efficiency allowed sales staff to focus entirely on customer service without worrying about presentation standards. Manager Sarah Williams always scheduled the most demanding and wealthy clients during periods when Robert's meticulous work ensured optimal jewelry presentation that could influence purchasing decisions worth tens of thousands of dollars. The senior sales associates appreciated how Robert's maintenance eliminated the small presentation problems that could distract customers from major investment purchases. Regular customers occasionally interacted with Robert during his work, and they invariably found him courteous, knowledgeable about store operations, and surprisingly informed about jewelry care and maintenance. His recommendations for cleaning and storing expensive pieces were valued by customers who trusted his obvious expertise with luxury materials. Robert's supply storage area was organized with systematic efficiency that reflected both his cleaning expertise and his security background. Specialized cleaning materials arranged by function and frequency of use, professional tools maintained in perfect condition for working with delicate luxury materials, and detailed maintenance schedules that ensured every area of the store received appropriate attention based on customer traffic patterns and seasonal demands. His equipment represented a significant investment in quality supplies that reflected his deep understanding of the materials and presentation standards required for million-dollar jewelry retail operations. What customers and most store staff didn't know was that Robert's exceptional attention to detail and ability to remain invisible while observing everything had been developed in contexts far more critical than retail cleaning. His ability to assess security vulnerabilities, identify suspicious behavior, and coordinate protective protocols came from 22 years working jewelry store security for establishments that regularly handled merchandise worth millions of dollars. Security Director Robert Chen had worked from 1978 to 2000 for various high-end jewelry retailers, specializing in what industry professionals called luxury retail security management and theft prevention operations. His experience included everything from coordinating protection during major gem shows to investigating sophisticated theft rings that targeted jewelry stores with military-style precision and inside knowledge. Robert had worked stores where jewelry transactions involved international criminal organizations, where rare gem sales provided cover for money laundering operations, and where luxury retail environments attracted both legitimate collectors and sophisticated thieves who planned robberies with the thoroughness of military operations. His expertise included identifying potential threats among customers and staff, coordinating responses to robbery attempts, and maintaining security protocols that protected valuable inventory without compromising the relaxed atmosphere that luxury shopping required. His transition to civilian cleaning work had been carefully chosen after experiences that had made him appreciate the beauty and artistry that drove legitimate jewelry craftsmanship. Prestige. Fine jewelry represented everything he'd learned to value about the industry. Family-owned business, genuine appreciation for quality, and retail practices that enhanced rather than exploited customers' trust in luxury purchases. The store's management knew Robert was former jewelry security, but had no idea of the scope of his experience protecting similar establishments from sophisticated criminal enterprises. His job application listed his background as jewelry store operations and security, which seemed perfectly suited for a cleaning position that required understanding both luxury materials and security awareness. What they didn't know was that Robert's supply area included more than standard cleaning equipment. The locked storage cabinet contained detailed security assessments of potential threats to jewelry retail operations, information he'd compiled by monitoring suspicious activity patterns and cross-referencing with law enforcement databases he maintained access to through professional contacts. His cleaning cart included communication equipment that could coordinate with police units when necessary. For 10 years, Robert had found peace in his cleaning work. Maintaining beautiful jewelry displays had gradually replaced the stress of protecting them from criminal enterprises, and the steady rhythm of retail operations had allowed him to heal from years of hypervigilance and threat assessment. His greatest satisfaction came from knowing that his work contributed to positive experiences for customers celebrating engagements, anniversaries, and other life milestones. Friday, December 20th, was one of the busiest shopping days of the holiday season, with Prestige experiencing the kind of customer volume that made December crucial for annual revenue goals. The store was filled with customers selecting gifts for Christmas, New Year's celebrations, and Valentine's Day proposals that required months of planning and significant financial investment. Robert had arrived at 5:30 a.m. to ensure the store was perfectly prepared for the holiday rush, completing extra cleaning procedures that would maintain presentation standards despite heavy customer traffic. By 10 a.m., the showroom was bustling with shoppers, creating the energetic atmosphere that made luxury retail exciting for both customers and staff. During the afternoon peak period, when holiday shopping brought maximum customer activity to the jewelry district, Robert was restocking cleaning supplies when he noticed them. 3 men moving through the store with the purposeful navigation that Robert's trained eye recognized as surveillance rather than jewelry shopping. They wore expensive clothing appropriate for luxury retail environments, but displayed none of the careful examination behavior that characterized serious jewelry customers, and they moved with the coordinated precision that Robert's security experience had taught him to identify as robbery preparation. Robert's threat assessment protocols, refined through years of protecting similar establishments from sophisticated theft operations, began processing danger indicators with automatic precision. The men's behavior patterns were wrong. They were studying security systems and employee positions rather than examining jewelry merchandise. Their attention was focused on cash handling procedures and inventory storage, rather than the luxury pieces that should have been their primary interest as legitimate customers. Robert continued his normal cleaning duties without changing his routine, but his awareness shifted into the heightened state that had once made him invaluable to security operations where criminal enterprises targeted jewelry stores during high-revenue periods. He mentally mapped the store's layout, noting customer positions, valuable inventory concentrations, and the security systems he'd helped evaluate during his first year of employment. The men positioned themselves strategically around the main sales areas where customers were making substantial holiday purchases of engagement rings, luxury watches, and gift jewelry that represented significant financial investments. Their placement suggested preparation for robbery operations rather than shopping, and their synchronized timing indicated coordination that Robert recognized from sophisticated theft rings that planned operations against jewelry stores during peak business periods. At 2:43 p.m., during the holiday season's busiest shopping period when maximum cash transactions and valuable inventory movement created optimal robbery conditions, Robert's suspicions were confirmed when he observed one of the men communicate through what appeared to be a discreet earpiece while studying the main cash register where holiday sales were being processed. The coordination suggested a planned operation targeting both cash receipts and high-value merchandise. Robert realized he was witnessing the preparation phase of what jewelry industry security called a holiday robbery operation, an attack designed to target jewelry stores during their highest revenue periods when substantial cash and premium inventory would be concentrated in predictable locations. Prestige's holiday shopping season was perfect for such an operation. Wealthy customers making large purchases, holiday cash receipts, and security protocols designed for customer service rather than armed robbery defense. As Robert prepared to activate emergency protocols, he observed the first man reach toward what appeared to be a concealed weapon while positioning himself to control the main sales floor where customers were examining expensive jewelry pieces. The sight of potential weapons in an environment where families were shopping for celebration gifts triggered Robert's protective instincts with an intensity that transcended his 10 years of peaceful cleaning work. That's when Robert stopped being a jewelry store cleaner and became a security director again. Robert's response combined the jewelry store security expertise he'd developed during his protection career with intimate knowledge of Prestige's layout and operations that he'd acquired through 10 years of daily cleaning and maintenance. His first priority was protecting the customers and staff who had no experience with the kind of sophisticated robbery operations that Robert had spent years preventing at similar establishments. The store's security system, which Robert had access to through his cleaning responsibilities and security background, became the primary tool for coordinating protection. His knowledge of every camera angle, alarm system, and communication protocol allowed him to activate comprehensive security measures while simultaneously protecting customers who were trapped in the showroom. Robert's service weapon, a compact Glock 26 that he'd maintained according to security director protocols even during his cleaning career, came from the locked storage area where he'd kept it accessible but concealed for exactly this type of emergency. His position near the cleaning supplies provided excellent tactical oversight of the main showroom, and his years of daily observation had given him intimate knowledge of every sightline and defensive position. The armed men had expected to control a group of wealthy customers whose compliance would provide easy access to cash registers and jewelry inventory worth millions of dollars. What they encountered instead was organized resistance delivered by someone who understood both jewelry store robbery tactics and the specific layout and security systems of the establishment they'd chosen to attack. Robert's security training enabled him to coordinate defensive positions while simultaneously managing customer evacuation through routes that took advantage of the store's design features. The jewelry displays and storage areas became tactical assets, providing protected positions that allowed Robert to maintain control while ensuring customer safety. Robert's communication expertise, developed through years of coordinating security operations during high-value jewelry transactions, provided responding law enforcement with real-time intelligence about suspect positions and civilian locations. His familiarity with jewelry store security protocols ensured that police responders could coordinate their approach without compromising the safety of customers or valuable inventory. Within 11 minutes, the threat was neutralized, the store was secure, and the 25-plus holiday shoppers who had come to purchase celebration jewelry were safe from an attack that could have resulted in significant casualties and millions of dollars in losses. Robert's immediate threat recognition and tactical response had prevented what would have become a high-profile jewelry robbery that could have damaged the entire luxury retail district's reputation. The evacuation procedures that Robert coordinated proved their effectiveness as customers were moved to safety with minimal panic and no civilian casualties. Shoppers later described how store staff had remained calm and professional throughout the crisis, managing the situation with the competence and discretion that they expected from luxury retail operations. The investigation revealed the scope of the planned operation, a sophisticated robbery designed to target multiple jewelry stores during holiday shopping season, when wealthy customers would be concentrated with substantial cash and valuable purchases. The criminals had researched store operations, security systems, and inventory patterns with the thoroughness of professionals planning operations against high-value retail targets. What they hadn't researched was Robert Chen. The FBI agents who debriefed Robert were familiar with jewelry store security operations and understood immediately why the attack had failed so completely. 22 years of experience protecting luxury jewelry retailers from sophisticated theft operations, combined with 10 years of intimate knowledge of the specific store's layout, inventory, and security systems. Prestige fine jewelry resumed normal operations the following week with enhanced security protocols and a new understanding of the man who maintained their showroom. Robert returned to his cleaning duties with the same quiet professionalism he'd always shown, ensuring perfect presentation of luxury jewelry with the same dedication that had made him invaluable to both his security career and his maintenance work. The only visible change was a small recognition from store management, thanking him for extraordinary service during a security incident. Robert had requested that it not mention specific details, preferring to be remembered for the thousands of perfect shopping experiences he'd helped create, rather than the one day when his other skills had been needed. Because some people spend their careers protecting what they understand and value, and when they transition from security to service, their protective instincts remain unchanged. Robert had spent 22 years protecting jewelry stores from those who would steal beauty and craftsmanship for criminal profit, and 10 years helping customers appreciate the artistry and tradition that made legitimate jewelry special. The diamonds were the same, but the mission had evolved: provide the perfect environment that allows others to celebrate life's precious moments, while standing ready to defend those celebrations from those who would destroy them for money. So now I ask you, have you ever met someone like Robert, someone who seemed like just a friendly jewelry store cleaner, until the moment they revealed the depths of their expertise and dedication? Someone whose daily presence made you feel safer without knowing why? Tell me in the comments where are you watching from today and share their story with us. And if you believe stories like this need to be heard, hit that subscribe button and help us make sure they are. We publish human stories that matter every single week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next story. And remember, sometimes the person polishing the diamonds knows more about protecting them than you could ever imagine.